Hi everyone, welcome to Carefree Solutions, doing business as lockspert. My name is Paul. I'm a locksmith down in Florida. I'd like to introduce you to one of series of videos I'm making about installation, operation, and repair of commercial and residential locking devices. The one I'm showing today is about the Kawneer 1686 painting device. One of the most common issues a user or a technician can run into is the stripping of the dogging assembly. This happens when users put too much torque on the Allen key when trying to dog down the device or undog it to put it back into a lock position. Uh, this assembly is right under the touch bar. It's attached to the back of it. So in order to get to it, the whole device will have to come apart, and I will show you how this is done. Assuming that the device is already on the door, the tools you're going to need are a number one Phillips head, number 2 and number 3 Phillips, and then you're going to need a Allen wrench that is 9/64. I will show you what you need to do to get this thing off the door first. You take the screws from the front and the back cap. You take the caps off. The next thing that has to come off are the covers of the device. This is a used device. It had some missing parts originally, which I had to install in order to show you how the whole thing happens. The covers just slide off. Sometimes it's not that easy, sometimes it may be easier. The screws, the machine screws that hold the device to the door in the front are this one here, which you loosen up with the 9/64 Allen wrench, and the one at the bottom that you loosen up with a number 3 Phillips, and then take them both out. In the back, the device is kept in place by this bracket. It also has a screw that goes in it, and to take the screw out, you use a number 3 Phillips. Please make sure that you use the correct size Phillips head, because if you try to use a number 2 Phillips, it's very easy to strip the screw, and then you may not even be able to take it off. Once the device comes off the door, the next thing you have to do is take the head assembly off in order to slide the touch bar out. This is how the head assembly comes off. First, you have to take out the brackets for the cover. One at the bottom and one at the top. What you might want to do is, you're taking these out, mark the side with a Sharpie or just a scratch of a tool, the side that's touching the door. As you can see, this hole is off center. This is the side that has to be flush with the back of the device. in order for the bracket to be in the correct position so it can hold the cover properly. The next thing you have to take out would be the end covers for the touch bar itself. There's one thing you have to be aware of as you're removing the back cover. This is actually a guide that is supposed to slide back and forth when the touch bar is pushed in and keep the touch bar in the correct position so it would operate properly and the dogging assembly would do its job. Okay. In order to take the head assembly off, you have to flip the device over and take out these two screws that keep it in place. Once you do that, the head assembly comes out. You just put it aside. Okay, next thing we do is slide the touch bar back, take out two wheels from this side. Behind each wheel there's a washer. You gotta be careful, you don't want to lose those. And then there's a washer on each side of the axle right here. This springy lever, we can just push it back and out of the way. And now we're able to pull the touch bar all the way out and flip it over. This is the dogging assembly. You use a number 1 Phillips to loosen it up, take it out. The new one usually comes in a little package from the factory, from a dealer. You just replace it. You make sure that you place the new one just the same way. You don't want to flip it over because it's not going to work as it's supposed to. Once this is done, we flip the touch bar, push it back in place. You make sure that none of those wheels get lost somewhere or fall off. They're supposed to go in exactly the same way. And then we go in the opposite order of this assembly. put some washers behind each wheel. As a matter of fact, we have more than one here. For some reason. I'll put them all back in, just so we don't have any leftover parts. When we're done, the wheels slide into the touch bar the same way they came out, and then we position the touch bar in a position that's similar to the original one. I prefer to install the back cover of the touch bar first and make sure that when it goes in, the touch bar will slide up and down without any obstruction. Next thing we do, we can install the head assembly back first, or we can install this cover first. It doesn't really matter. One doesn't get in the way of the other one. Now we can flip the body over, position the head assembly properly, and put these two screws back. Next thing we do is install the cover brackets. One for the bottom, and one for the top of the device. At this point, we can put the device back on the door. With the screw going in on this side, the top machine screw with the Allen wrench, the bottom one with a number 3 Phillips. Once everything's nice and tight, we can test the device on the door and make sure it works. At that point, we can slide the covers in. And install the caps. So this is all I have to tell you about this device at this point. I appreciate the interest. You can watch some of my other videos if there's any in the future in this channel. Thank you very much.